All right. Hi, Martha. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm Jessica. I'm a registered dietitian, and I work with women and children.
Okay.
So how are you today?
I'm okay. I just found out I have gestational diabetes, so it's not been the best time the last few days.
I can definitely understand your concern. I'm going to help you give you some information and resources that can help you have a healthy pregnancy, though. Gestational diabetes is manageable, and there are some small, easy changes we can make. It'll make all the difference.
Great. I've been really feeling overwhelmed by all the talk of what I can't eat. I mean, I'm hungry all the time, so now that I have to stop eating so much food, I feel like I'm going to starve to death.
Actually, Martha, you don't need to stop eating as much food at all. In fact, with some changes we're going to talk about making within your diet, you will probably feel like you're eating more food than you are. Before we get into all that, though, let's talk about what I'd like to go over with you today and see if you have any items you'd like to add to the agenda. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay. I'd like to discuss how your pregnancy has been going so far and any issues you've been having and ways you've been dealing with them. I'd also like to discuss any foods you have been craving, foods you've been avoiding, get a basic idea of what you like to eat. And I'd also like to give you some information about gestational diabetes and guide you to some resources that may be helpful in the future. Do you have anything you'd like to add to the agenda for today?
No, that sounds like it's going to cover everything.
Great. So you're at 21 weeks into your pregnancy, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Great. And I'm looking at your chart here, and I see that at 21 weeks you had gained 20 pounds. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, great. And you had mentioned that you were feeling hungry all the time. Is this something that has been going on throughout the entire pregnancy or just recently?
The whole time. I knew the minute I was pregnant because I'm just starving all the time. It's like I eat all the time. I eat the things I want and I'm still hungry.
I can believe it. Your body is going through some big changes, and what it needs from the food you eat is changing as well. We'll definitely add some more filling foods to your diet so that these hunger pains are not so taxing. Are you having any GI symptoms such as nausea, vomiting, constipation, or heartburn?
I'm never nauseous and I don't throw up. I get heartburn a bit, but I'm taking a pill for that. I'm constipated all the time, so I take laxatives to help. This thing called blue cohosh makes me feel a lot better, so I'm taking that.
Okay. Well, it's great news that you aren't nauseous at all. That's a pretty uncomfortable side effect a lot of women have to deal with when they're pregnant. Heartburn and constipation are pretty common too. When you're pregnant, your body makes some changes that allow for these things to happen. I'm familiar with blue cohosh. Are you familiar with some of the things it is used for?
Not really. A friend of mine said she took it when she was trying to have her baby and it helped her a lot.
Right. Well, it's something that has been used to induce contractions in labor. At 21 weeks, we certainly do not want to induce labor just yet. I'd like to discuss some changes we can make in your diet that will help with the hunger pains, the constipation, and heartburn. So I'm going to recommend that you not take the blue cohosh at all.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know it did that. I'm glad you're telling me.
Yes, there's a lot of advice out there, especially during pregnancy. Speaking of, are you familiar with what gestational diabetes actually is?
Not really. Like, I have diabetes because I'm pregnant and I have too much sugar in my blood.
Well, gestational diabetes is a condition that occurs during pregnancy because you have been insulin resistant prior or predisposed to insulin resistance before conception. We use insulin to take up the sugar that enters our blood when we eat. If our blood is resistant to insulin, the sugar stays in our blood for a long time and can have side effects. During pregnancy, our blood sugar naturally stays higher longer so it can move through the placenta and help the baby grow. It's actually an amazing process. You can imagine what happens if we don't get our blood sugar down. The baby ends up growing to a size that we consider to be abnormal, and there can be some complications during this.
Oh wow, does that mean I'm going to have a big baby?
Well, if gestational diabetes goes unmanaged, you can definitely end up having a larger than normal baby. There's some research out there that suggests that these babies are prone to getting type 2 diabetes later in life, and many will struggle with weight gain and obesity. So we're going to discuss ways in which you can manage your glucose levels and avoid these risks. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. Where do we start?
Well, let's start with what kinds of food you have been craving and what you've been eating during your pregnancy.
Anything sweet. I love cookies and ice cream, but then I really like salty stuff to go with it too. So I've been eating like fries, burgers, mac and cheese, donuts. I don't know why, I just crave those things. Plus, I don't like to cook a lot.
Well, the good news is there are plenty of sweets out there that you can still have. By incorporating fruit into your diet, you can satisfy those cravings for something sweet, plus you don't have to cook them or do much to them before you eat. Is there an evening or time during the week that you would be able to do some easy cooking, like grilling or baking a chicken breast and steaming some veggies?
Yeah, Sunday nights I think I'd be able to.
Great. Well, I find it's really helpful to meal plan in advance. Cook everything at once and put them in Tupperware so I can just grab them whenever I need them and eat on the run. So I've written out an example daily menu according to your weight and nutrient needs. Would you like to look this over and see what you think?
Sure, looks good. It's making me hungry. Oh.
Are these foods that you enjoy eating? Is there anything on here that looks really tasty or anything that looks really awful or something you wouldn't like to eat?
No, this all looks like stuff that I'd really enjoy to eat.
Well,
Well, I love cookies and chocolate. I can't believe they're on this menu. I also like sandwiches because they're easy and they fill me up. And I love mac and cheese. I usually don't put veggies in there, but it's something I could definitely try.
absolutely. We don't need to cut out all the foods that you love. We can just modify them in small ways so that you get to eat what you want and still stay within a healthy range of sugar and calories.
Yeah, I think I could do this. You think it could help my heartburn and constipation too?
Well, one way we can help you avoid heartburn is to eat throughout the entire day. I've incorporated a lot of snacks in between every meal, and that will definitely help. We recommend a basic antacid for those times when heartburn still happens, but also increasing the fiber in your diet and incorporating yogurt can help with your constipation. I'm also recommending that you try to drink a lot more water throughout the day. This will help with the constipation and the pregnancy overall.
Okay, I can do that. Is there anything else I should be eating?
Well, there are a lot of great foods out there that provide your baby with some really important things. Sometimes it is not easy to get them all through the food we eat, so I really recommend a multivitamin. There are some pretty serious risks associated with not getting enough nutrients, especially folate, iodine, sodium, calcium, and vitamin D. It sounds like a long list, but if you take one vitamin a day, you can avoid all the side effects. I've printed off some information about these nutrients.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it includes what happens if you don't get enough of them and how a multivitamin can help. Another thing I've printed off for you over here is take home is a chart on maternal weight gain. So here,
Okay.
it's an easy way for you to plot how much weight you're gaining throughout the pregnancy and whether it is in a range that we consider healthy. I've currently mapped your weight gain out right here.
Okay, I see. Oh wow, I didn't know I was gaining that much weight. The doctor said I should slow down, but I had no idea. Am I going to be able to still have a healthy baby?
Absolutely. With the changes that we are making in your diet, you'll not only be able to manage your blood sugar, but I've mapped out some calorie ranges for you to stay in too. This includes the ice cream and macaroni and cheese that you were eating before, so don't worry about that.
Oh wow, okay, I think I can do this.
You absolutely can do this. Another way that we can help to manage some of these things is throughout exercise. Would you be able to take a 30-minute walk, maybe like 5 days a week?
I can walk, but I can't run.
No need to run. If you take a 30-minute walk 3 to 5 times a week, it would really help us to keep you and the baby in healthy ranges of weight gain and blood sugar.
Yeah, I can manage 3 minutes of walking a day.
Great. Another way we can help keep things on track is for you to keep a diary. I've brought an extra notebook here, and right there on the front page are some tips for how to keep the journal going. As you can see here, I'd like for you to log what and when you eat throughout the day, and try to include portion sizes and physical activity that you participate in, how much water you are drinking, and include what time you take your multivitamin. Also, note any time you have heartburn, constipation, or hunger pains. That way, next time when we meet, we can adjust your menus and try to prevent any uncomfortable symptoms that you may have. One last thing I'd like to see in your journal is your blood sugar measure before and after eating. Do you have any questions over the journal?
No, I think you've covered it all. Thank you.
Okay, great. So just to recap what we've gone over today, we've discussed how your pregnancy has been going so far in terms of weight gain, things causing you any discomfort, and foods you've been craving. We have discussed not taking the blue cohosh, but beginning to take a multivitamin. We have discussed exercising 3 to 5 times a week and small modifications to your daily diet that you feel are feasible changes. We have discussed meal prepping on Sunday nights and keeping a food journal including symptoms, exercise, and water intake. And we have discussed the risks of having a baby after uncontrolled gestational diabetes, as well as any risks of nutrient deficiencies within the diet. I've given you a maternal weight gain chart, so you can map your weight. There's some informational pamphlets there too on nutrition and gestational diabetes. And don't forget your food journal to take home too. Does that sound like what we have covered so far?
Yes. Wow, I didn't even feel like we went over so much stuff. I came here thinking you were just going to tell me what I can't eat. This is not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It is a truly manageable situation, Martha, and I'm so happy to hear that we have addressed some of your concerns. I'd like to meet with you every few weeks to check in on your blood sugar levels and weight gain, and of course how you're feeling and managing with the dietary changes.
Great, thank you so much. I feel a lot better for everything you've said to me.
Great, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much for coming in. Do contact me with any questions you have.
I will. Thank you, Jessica.